the 2018 Plus A4 and several other models of Audis. It's not just for the A4. We come down to this part of the boot here, and all we do is just underneath there's a little twisty button, twisty plastic thing. Just lower it down and then pull it away. And then what we want is this module here. If depending on what accessories you've got in your car, you might have a couple of other things here. If so, they just need to be removed, but we want this module here. This is the body control module 2. There is an 11mm 11mm nut that needs removing there. I've already loosened it, so it's nice and easy to remove. And then it's clipped on here, and it's just clipped on there. So all you do is I'm just going to lean in and remove that nut there. So then you just pick it up. You will have to clip it out, and this is what we need. This is the body control module 2. So now that we've accessed the body control module 2, that's literally the hardest bit of the install. What we're going to do now is remove these 4 connections here: the black, the blue, the brown, and the other black. Okay. So what we're going to do first is remove this brown one first, because that's got the power to the unit. So what we do here, there's a little red tab on here. We just put a little screwdriver underneath that red tab and flick it up, because it's a security tab. And then just behind it there's a little clip, you can't quite see it at the moment, there's a little clip that you push in like that, and then you move the brown tab up. Okay, so that's a security connector, and that's what you push in there. Okay, that came out very easy. They can be very, very tough. I've been on the phone with some people who it's taken 5 minutes for just to get one connector out. Okay, so on the brown one you pull up the red security lock and push in that one there. Okay, so once the brown one's out, you can take the other 3 out in whatever order you want. This one stays here. Now, in order to get these 2 out, it's nice and simple. All you do is press in this little bit of plastic here, and that will allow this tab to come up. Push it all the way up. It'll help come out as you're doing it, and pull that out. And it's the same one on here. Again, you just push in this little tab, that comes up. It's coming up as I move it, and that comes out. It will be more difficult when you do it, because I've done this on here a couple of times now, but you get the idea. And then this last one, again, there's another security tab just here. I don't know if you can see that. So again, just put the screwdriver underneath and lift the security tab up, and then again just press in the little bit of plastic. This one's a bit more awkward. There we go. So that's the security tab, and that's the plastic that you have to push in. Okay, so then leave that one in there, and that's these 4 connectors now disconnected. Okay, so now that those 4 connectors are now disconnected, you take the harness that we've sent you in the post, and you simply connect them colour to colour. Okay, so take the blue one first. We'll connect into the car last. So all we're going to do is connect the loom connectors from the car into our harness first. Okay, so make sure these tabs, they're not locked in there. Make sure they push back, and then as you push them down, you'll see the locking tab move backwards like that, and then it clicks into place. You want it to click into place. It is very easy to break these connectors if you're not careful. It's no problem if you do, because they are in very solid anyway, but if you do, just take a zip tie and put it around the connector and zip tie it up. So that's one connector in. I'm going to get the brown. So again, security tabs up here into our harness. Heard it click in. Press the security tab down, and then we'll do this black one here. This is the other security tab one. So this is from the car. This is our harness. Click it in all the way. You hear that click, and press it down. And then the last one, find where the last one is here. From the car is this here. So then, oops, this is the one again. So it's one of those rocking connectors again, so make sure it's not clipped down there, make sure it's all the way back. Line it up, push it down, and then gently click it in. There you go. Okay, so that's our harness now plugged into the car. Still not plugged into the body control module 2 yet, but that's our harness plugged into the car, which then leaves these 4 connectors to go into the car and the connectors for the remote start module. So now that we're ready to put the 4 connectors from our harness back into the vehicle, which are these 4 here, do just double check with the wiring instructions that you've got for your vehicle on this A4. There are 3 jumpers here, 2 white and 1 red, and on this installation it's white to white. So just before you proceed, make sure you ensure that the jumpers are connected in the right way. So these 4 connectors that need to go in, I don't know which ones they need to go in, but they only go in one way, okay? So they're all slightly different. So I'll start off, the brown one goes in last. So then we'll start with the blue one. And I think that's the slightly bigger blue one. Let me just see if it goes in here. So again, connectors just go in the same way. So you line them up. I think that one. Nope, it's definitely this one back here. So you line it up, gently push it down and then clip it in. That's one in there. And then we'll do this one next. Let's see which one that is. That looks like this one here. Feed that through. And then connect that into that. It's a little bit fiddly. Connect it in and then push the security tab down. That's connected. And then we'll do this one next. Again, make sure that clips back. And as it goes in, the clip comes down. You hear it click in. And then the last one, to give it some power again, the brown one. So line it up, push it in, all the way in, hear it click, and then push the red tab connector down. So that's all of the connectors now connected into the vehicle. The bits to the remote start module are not connected yet. You can drive your vehicle at this point. So for some reason, if you had to, you can go away and drive the vehicle, there's no problem at all. Okay, so now all the connectors are in place. Double check that they're all securely in place. Make sure that these little jumpers are in the correct connections as per the instructions that you've got, because they do change on different Audis. But as I say, all these connectors are now in. You can drive this car as it is. There's no remote start module or anything connected at the other end. So what we're doing now is tidying this up and putting it back in place. So I've just tidied the wires up, put them all in here. Be very careful, obviously there's wires everywhere on here. Just be very careful with them as you put them back. And then just turn it over, and then as we did to start with, you just need to line up the bolt hole back there. Just sit it on top, and then it lines up there, and then it clips in just there. Okay, so that is the that's the body control module 2 back in place. And the last thing is just to put the bolt back on it. One second. Okay, so all that's now back in place, which leaves us with these connectors here, of which we'll talk about on the next video. Okay, so now that you've got the supplied wiring harness connected to the body control module 2, we're now going to connect the rest of the cables at this side of the loom to the pieces in the car. So that's all connected under there, that's all hidden done. The first thing we're going to do is connect the key box. So what we'll do is get the key first. The key box is like this. Simply put it in like that. It's important which way it goes in, not like that. If you can put it in like that with the green behind it, and you can see the key up there. Important to note, there's no battery in this key and there's no key blade. We've taken that out prior to installation. Extremely important there's no battery in there. Obviously doing that doesn't do anything. So battery out, blade out, and sit that in the box, nice and easy, clip it in. So that's the key in there. Next, we'll take the green connector and connect that in. Clicked in, nice and simple. So that's all done. So the only thing we're left with now is the remote start module and these 2 connectors. So if you search around the module, you'll see these 2 connectors here go into these here. So if you just take the black one first, black one goes in, clicks in, and then same for the blue one, clicked in. Okay, so that's all in now. The cable, sorry, the the key's connected, the key box is connected, and once we've tested everything and it's all working, this wants to be buried down there inside the vehicle so it can't be easily found. And part of the programming procedure that we do in a minute will involve pressing this button just here. So make sure you know where the button is on the remote start module. There's no other buttons on it, there's only one button there. And when you do press it, don't press it before the programming. When you do press it, you press it once and release. Okay. If you have a second person who can help you, then please get them to help you. If not, you will need something to wedge the brake pedal down, because at some point in the programming we need to have the foot on the brake and pressing the button back here. So for the purpose of this, I've got this, and I use that as a brake depressor. So I'll show you what to do now. So that's all connected up, and we'll now just program it to the car. So I'm going to put that there, so we don't need it just yet. Put the keys on here, and then I'm going to literally just turn the ignition on, and I'm going to count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Turn the ignition off, and then I'm going to put my brake depressor on. There. So now I'm just going to start the engine, and then now I'm going to count to 10, and I'm going to press the button. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And once I press and release this button, I'm going to go up there, take the brake depressor off, and watch the hazard lights. So pressed and released, take the brake depressor off, and then see how many indicators. 2 indicators. Therefore we've got a successful install. So what we're going to do now is simply turn the ignition off,